Hey guys, Tonight Marine here with a video, I think that much is apparent, on Syrian refugees, on that whole refugee crisis, if that's what you want to call it, over in Europe. Now, if you don't know, if you don't follow the news, bad on you, shame on you, get your ass up, watch the news. You need to be following it. I know you may think it doesn't apply to you, or it's not important, or this and that, but watch the news. Anyway, what's happening is ISIS is basically rampaging around all over down there in that area, Iraq, Syria region, and it's essentially forced tons of people out of their country. I think the current guesstimates, whatever, is that half of the Syrian population has left. They are trying to avoid ISIS. They're getting out of there. They're leaving. That in and of itself, I understand. I get it. ISIS are some bad dudes, and you want to avoid them, especially if you have a family. That's not something you want to deal with. Understandable. The issue that has presented itself is twofold, I think. First being that ISIS, I guarantee, is hiding their fighters within that group, within the refugees that are coming, because these people, and the second part of this is these people are being let in to these European countries without any sort of check on who they are. A lot of them, the vast majority, are tossing away their IDs, their passports, whatever they have, so you have no idea who they are. And it's essentially screwing those countries, because they're letting these people in that they have no idea their background, no idea what it is that that these people are trying to do. And I guarantee the vast majority of these people are simply trying to avoid ISIS. I'd be willing to put money on that. But at the same time, these countries have literally let in thousands of people, and they're not being checked. And there's been pictures showing ISIS fighters from when they were in Iraq and Syria and then when they were in whatever country. And I think that creates a dangerous precedent. I think it's going to set things up for some pretty bad situations down the road. Hopefully nothing comes of it. Hopefully they just go and, I don't know, just fucking never do anything. But I certainly get the feeling that that's not the case, and that's not what is going to happen. Now, the other part of this, which is kind of interesting, is that these people are bypassing countries that have very weak, little to no welfare type programs. And basically where these countries are willing to accept them, but telling them that they are going to have to work their asses off if they want a place there, which I think is a completely reasonable request. If you want to come here, you want to live here, and just fucking come in scot-free, that's great, but you're going to work. They're bypassing those countries, the very vast majority of them, and they're going to countries, namely Germany, being one of the bigger ones, because they're very open about this, and the chancellor is, I think she's taking some major risks. I think her name's Merkel, taking some major risks with this, but they're going to these countries because they have very large and well-funded, welfare programs where they can get, X amount a month for food, X amount a month for housing, and this and that. And another issue on top of all this is that in a lot of these countries, there's not a lot of work for them to do, at least at the moment. If things are created to where they can have jobs down the road, then excellent. But the vast majority of these people, from my understanding, don't have very good educations. They don't necessarily have any particular skills outside, perhaps being able to do manual labor. And that's going to lead, I'm sure some will be able to find work, but I think that's going to leave the vast majority without work. And it's only going to create issues. There's already creating, people are concerned about this, people that live there. And I think it's just going to create a lot of tension, especially when you take into account that a lot of these people, especially the males within this refugee group, are fighting against the police and doing this and that when they're not getting what they want. And there's plenty of videos. You can YouTube it or probably live leak a lot of these type of videos. And they're literally like protesting and fighting against the police. And simply because they're not getting whatever it is they feel they're entitled to. And to me, that's wrong, and that's setting up a bad precedent. The U.S. is debating on how many people they should take in, how many we should take in, I suppose. And I think that's, I don't know. Personally, I'm fine taking these people in, but there needs to be a check. One of the people running for president, was it Rand Paul? I don't remember. One of them said, by all means, we can accept, whatever we deem to be a good amount. We can accept these people, and I'm sure we'll be able to find a place for them. But we need to be able to take the time to run checks on every single person to make sure that they don't have any sort of connections that could lead to trouble down the road. So you let these people in, because normally there's, you have to have your passport, you got to go through all the various security, customs, all that stuff when you come into a different country. And if you're flagged, for as being associated with the terrorist group or whatever, then they know, and they can either A, boot your ass back out, B, arrest you, or, C, detain you until they figure out what's going on. But with these people, that's not happening. So that suggestion, I think, is a good one, where you find a place, have them hang out in this point until you can screen these people and make sure that they're not going to cause trouble. I don't know. That's my view on it. And we'll see. And I have no idea where they're going to put any of these people. I haven't looked into it that much, to be honest. I've been following it kind of half-heartedly because not a whole ton's going to change. They're going to come regardless. But I just really hope that nothing bad happens. So, yeah. I mean, if you guys, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. And, kind of what, perhaps you've heard something different than I have. By all means, post it. Let me know. And we'll go from there. I feel bad for them. I mean, it's a shitty situation they've kind of been put into, but at the same time, we have to be careful protecting ourselves, plain and simple. And it seems that that's not the priority at the moment. So, I don't know. We'll see. But as always, I appreciate it, guys. Hit me up anytime. Facebook is the main one. I respond the quickest through there. But by all means, comment here. Let me know what you think, and we will have a discussion about it. Peace.